You know what? I think that's where a lot of my issues and problems are coming from when I'm trying to broadcast on multiple stations. Yeah, but let me go check. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? I thought we were broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, but I didn't. That we are now on Facebook. I mean YouTube now. I just want to say what's up to everybody out there on YouTube. Like I was saying, man, earlier I woke up this morning. My peoples woke me up. It's a bee nest on the side of my house, and I had this issue going on last year, and I got stung a few times. But luckily this year, it looked like we're starting to have a lot of, and I think I may be figuring out what's going on. I probably could not. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think when I'm streaming on both platforms. Yeah, let me turn this up for a second. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think when I'm streaming on both platforms. Yeah, let me turn this up for a second. Well, it seemed to be coming through good. So, and you guys got to excuse me. Like I said, right now, I'm just trying to work out all the bugs and kinks that we had going on last night. I don't know what's going on. I think I may have to just start and that's why I want everybody that watches me over here on Facebook to come over to the channel on YouTube and watch. I like, and I don't know what's going on with my earphones. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna switch this headset out. Hold on. It's always something, I tell you. All right, testing, testing. Hopefully you guys can hear me better and hear me clear. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. So how's everybody's Saturday morning going thus far? Yep. Hopefully everybody had a great Friday night leading up to Saturday. It's my birthday weekend. Your boy hit a milestone a few years ago. I turned 50. I'll be 51 Monday. So let me go over here to YouTube. The comment section is definitely open, you guys. I know it's early, but I'm just up pretty much just testing everything, making sure everything is going how it's supposed to go. And I think I'm going to get crispy sail cuts on the foam again. It's still kind of early. Okay, so and I think I may keep it like that for a second. But yeah, it was a story that I wanted to talk about last night. I was trying to get a little bit more information before I talked about this story last night, but it was a young man, and I'm gonna go to the. I'll actually I'll bring the story and I'm gonna find it and then I'm gonna bring it in. So give me 1 second, you guys. Your internet was restored, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. Hold on for a second, you guys. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. He's right there. Okay, so I'm going to share this to the screen in a second. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a show maybe about a year ago with these two young ladies who had a total of, I believe it was 13 children that were staying in a household. And they were living in unfit conditions. You know, hopefully those young ladies, the young ladies get their stuff together and they get their kids and you know, because that's all I wanted. I wanted to help these young ladies and I wanted to help them, you know, get their lives together. And we had started a GoFundMe and we were trying to raise money to help these young ladies out and mainly help the children out. You know, but it backfired. But at the end of the day, one of them reached out to me yesterday. And it was about a situation, a young man in Toledo. And I'm getting ready to share the screen to you guys so you can hear the story. And this is a story that has not been talked about on the mainstream media. You know, and it was about a young man who lost his life. A young and here I'm getting ready to share it to you guys so you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can hopefully everything is still going right. Okay, but yeah, this is I'm getting ready to let me see if this is make sure this is sharing to you guys. Okay, so I'm getting ready to add this to the stage. Here, let me pull it. I'm gonna pull it out for 1 second until I get everything queued up because I don't want to give me 1 second, you guys. Apparently this young man passed away under the care of CPS and he drowned. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the screen up now. Okay, so this happened. Here, let me. I'm gonna come out, and then I'll be able to read it. You know, so I was trying to get in contact with these young ladies last night, but you know we were having a lot of technical difficulties last night, so I ended up ending the show. So we didn't do. We had a short show last night. Okay, so this is what's going on. You had I heard that a child died by drowning while in the care of Lucas County Children's Services, aka CBS. I'm going to read more of the article. It said, "Is Toledo going to remain silent? Are you going to hold the agency accountable? Let me be abundantly clear. I refuse to sit back and not say anything. Today I come to affirm that your man, Sir Major, the activist, is back." Okay, tag the family tag. Okay, so these are activists that's talking about that. Okay, so you do have people that's talking about this. So I want to actually go a little bit more deeper into what's going on. It say states will pay for foster families and caregivers to care for children, yet so many biological parents receive little to no meaningful support while they're working to rebuild their lives. With minimum wage failing to keep us rising costs of rent, groceries, utilities, and children, many families are set up to struggle instead of to succeed. Imagine how many children could remain safely with their parents if those same resources. Let me see, it's more. If those same resources were invested in helping families overcome temporary hardship before a separation becomes necessary, foster care is essential. In situations where children are unsafe, but when poverty is the primary issue, families deserve support, not punishment. This system needs to be focused more on prevention, reunification, and keeping families together whenever it can be done safely. Right now, too often it feels like the priorities are backwards. Okay, so it sounds like they have a beef with CPS. This young man right here, and it sounds like this young man right here was the young man that went out swimming and died. And here he is again. His name was Zion Martin Thomas, and he died April the 8th. Oh wow! So this is an old story. April the 8th, 20. Oh no, he was sorry about that. He was born April the 8th, 2020, and he died July the 30th, 2026. Sorry about that. No, so this was a young man. Let me see. He was only wow, he was only 6 years old. And that's sad. I see why. You know, a lot of people are trying to get answers on what happened to this young man. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out. And like I said, these were the young ladies that actually did a story about about a year ago. Because their children were in foster care. But yeah, I advise everyone who's going through a situation like that, who has children in foster care, try to do everything possible that you need to try to get your children back. Here, I'm gonna show some photos of this young man too. Yeah, it's a sad situation. And I want to get to the main story. So that's the picture of the young man. So I'm gonna try to go back and get more. Here, I'm gonna come out of here, and then I'm gonna go and try to read, see if we can find more about what happened. Because like I said, they reached out to me yesterday, and I wasn't able to respond because I was at work, I believe. Okay, here's somewhat a story. My cousin died in CBS custody. And here's a post. She said that I am not even allowed to cut my own children's hair because my caseworker said that I am not allowed to do things like that because they are in CPS custody, and I have to ask permission. But the caregivers is allowed to bring my cousin to a gathering with a pool, knowing he doesn't know how to swim, and left him alone. Neglected to watch him by the pool underwater for, hold on, some reads more. For how long? Where the fuck were all the adults? Yeah, so it sounds like this young man died under the custody of CPS. It looks like there was no supervision. He was out there, alone at a pool, and he ended up drowning and died. So yeah, so that's a sad situation. I'm going to look into the story more. And I tried to look last night, but like I said, I was having a lot of technical difficulties. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm her friend request because, like I said, I did a story on these young women, two sisters last year about their situation with their children because their children was in CPS, and all 13 of their children, I believe, was taken away. But hopefully those young ladies got themselves together. Hopefully they were able to get their children back. Um, because no child should be in CPS. Um, this is a horrible story, a horrible situation. This young man was in foster care and died under under the care of these of CPS. And definitely answer questions need to be answered. Um, and from what it sounds like from their post, CPS is really trying to cover this story up. So this is a story that I wanted to talk about last night, but we really couldn't because we were having a lot of technical difficulties. But yeah, that's a sad situation. I'm gonna remove that from the screen. But yeah, that young man lost his life. That's a sad situation. I'm gonna remove. Okay, so yeah, I just want to come in and looks like everything may be working pretty good today. Like I said last night, we had a lot of technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi. And it looked like it may be acting up a little bit, but not as bad as it was last night. And you know what? I think I'm getting ready to get crispy cell cuts on the phone right now. Okay, so I'm about to try to get him on the line with us now, you guys.
Shit.
What up, cuz? You at the shop?
Yeah, I'm up here.
Okay. Look, last night we were having some technical difficulties when I was doing the show, and I'm actually live doing the show now. Let everybody know, let everybody know where the address at the Spy Wars is going to be at tonight, and where can they get tickets from?
Okay, you could call me if you want to get tickets, or you could pay at the door. The address is 14,000 Woodward. 14,000 Woodward, right off Davidson Freeway. The doors open at 8 o'clock. I say the fight should be getting started roughly between 9 and 9:30. And we got good food. It's a great venue, great security. Nothing to worry about. Come have a good time. Enjoy yourselves.
Okay. And again, like I said last night, we were having when I called you last night, everything was good, and then my video had started fucking up, so I had to end the show. But I wanted to come back on this morning and talk to you again and let everybody know. So again, 14,000 Woodward Street is going to be a great show tonight. It's called Spy Wars. He's going to have, how many matches are you going to have tonight there, Sale?
We have 6. We have Detroit versus Cleveland. We got 4 matches there. We have a 2 versus 2 tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice event tonight.
Okay. So you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. It's going to be a 2-on-2 event. So that's going to be 4 people in the ring fighting. So, and I don't think you've had this event yet since you've been hosting these events, the 2-on-2. I think a lot of people love watching these 2-on-2 fights.
Yeah, they do. And it's my first time throwing one in. There's some good fighters, so it's gonna be yeah.
Okay. So who you gonna have? And normally, he always have live entertainment, people coming in to perform. Normally, it's normally local rappers from the city. Who you gonna have performing tonight, Sale?
We're gonna have Cheeks tonight. Guy from my neighborhood. Just came home. Got a big following, yeah. So it's his first show back, and the welcome home party at the same time. So we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Okay, well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. They're gonna have Cheeks in the building tonight. Just came home. He's gonna be performing live tonight. So what time do the doors open, Marcel?
The doors open at 8, and the fight should be started no later than 9:30.
Okay. Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Get with him. The tickets, you can get with him for tickets, and tickets will be sold at the door. So you guys get there at 8 o'clock. It's going to be great entertainment, food, live entertainment, and great fights tonight. So if you guys are boxing fans and you love to watch fights, come on out there and join us tonight. It's going to be a good show, good entertainment, good food, and it's going to be strict security and plenty of parking. So Marcel, if you have anything else you want to add or you want to say, go ahead, and if not, I'll let you go because I know you're a busy man.
First, I appreciate you. Shout out to the What Up Though show, and hope to see y'all there.
Okay, there we go. All right, well, I'll see you tonight, cuz.
All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, so there we go. That was Crispy Sale Cut. So make sure you guys come out tonight. It's going to be on 14,000 Woodward Street. Going to be live entertainment. It's called Spy Wars. It's always a great event. It's always a good time. It's always just a lot of entertainment. So definitely come out tonight and join us. We're going to be live. I'm going to be doing a lot there live, doing filming the fights. So it's going to be a good event. It's always a great event, and it's always good entertainment. The last time I was there, he had FMBDZZ performing. So it was a good look. It was a good turnout. Always a packed house. So make sure you guys get down there and support my boy. It's going to be a good event. But yeah, man, that was a horrible situation that what happened to this young man, Zion, and Zion Thomas, out of Toledo. And like I said, I'm going to reach back out to the young ladies who I did a show with about a year ago. They were kind of going through the same situation with their kids. Their kids were in CPS and they had their children taken away. So I don't know if this was someone that they knew that was going through the same thing that they were going through. But like I said, these young ladies, one of the young ladies reached out to me, and probably wanted to do a story or probably wanted to talk about that situation. But it was a sad situation. This was a young man, a 6-year-old young boy who lost his life. He had his whole life ahead of him, and lost his life under the watch and the guise of CPS here in Toledo. So I just want to put that out, and I'm gonna show the young man's face again. because this was a sad situation. This young boy had his whole life ahead of him, and it was ended, because that improper supervision. Here, let me back out. Okay, but here he is again. And I'm gonna read some of the comments. It's sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry, cuz I heard about that. It's a sad situation. This young man should have never, lost his life. There should have been supervision out there watching this young man. And what's so crazy, was he the only child out there at that time that died? And I want to make we got a comment. What's going on at Zephy01? Dance on the red sun on the sky. Yes, yes. How are you today? But no child should lose their life how this young man lost his life. This young man was under the care of CPS and lost his life. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I just want to speak about that. And I'm gonna probably come back maybe tomorrow or when I get in contact with the young ladies to get a little bit more information about that story. But that was a sad situation. So I just want to come on here this morning. Like I said, I'm going to look more into the story. It sounds like this young man was under the care of CPS and he was at a swimming pool with no supervision and end up drowning and losing his life. So that's a sad situation. So, and we got to get ahead of this, guys. What is it with, this generation? When I was growing up, swimming was prevalent to everybody. Everybody took had swim classes, and we knew how to swim. This is new to me. Hearing, hearing a lot of black folks drowning over the summer this year. I can understand this 6-year-old young man, but he still was old enough to learn how to swim. We have to get ahead of this. We have to teach our kids how to swim. And this is a stereotype, to me, that I thought that was just a stereotype, but yeah, we have to do a better job at making sure we give our kids swim lessons and teaching our kids on our own how to swim, because I remember the first time I learned how to swim, my dad threw us right in the lake and I did not know how to swim at all. And I remember this to this day clear. I thought, I thought he was trying to kill us. He took me and my brother out in the middle of the lake and let us go. And we had to make it back on our own. That was the first time I learned how to swim. And that's real talk. I learned how to swim from that day. From when my dad threw me in the lake and we had to swim back and make it back on our own. So, and I remember that clear as day. I actually thought, and me and my brother, I talked to my brother about this all the time. I thought my father was trying to kill us, but maybe he was trying to teach us how to swim on our own, because I tell you what, I learned how to swim immediately when that happened, and we made it back to the deck where we were able to climb back up and get up out of that water. And I think it took me years probably to get back in the water after that situation, but it was traumatic, but it taught me a lesson. It taught me how to swim. So, but yeah, we got to get ahead of this. It's been too many cases. It's been too many young men, and then it's just been too many, people overall dying because they can't swim. And we got to get ahead of that. We have to, you're not too old to learn how to swim or take swim lessons. But it start your kids off when they're young. Start them off young, learning how to swim. Therefore, if they're ever put in situations where, they're in the water, they know how to, maneuver and swim. So look, man, I just want to come on. Technically, I was testing my equipment to make sure everything was everything, because last night we had a bunch of buffering that was going on. So I just want to come on today and really just just run a quick test, and then I also want to come and inform you guys on the Spar Wars that's going to be going on tonight. So if you guys have a free night, if you guys don't have anything going on tonight, make sure you come on over to 14,000 Woodward Street. It's going to be a great event tonight. It's going to be some good fighting, good entertainment, great food, and I believe it's 420 friendly. So and it's going to be plenty of vendors there too. Yep. So look, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. I just want to come on here for a second and make sure that I had all that I took care of all the buffering that was going on last night. Look, I need for you guys to hit that subscribe button. Your boy is still less than 15 subs away from 1K. So we're going to be broadcasting live from Spar Wars tonight. So make sure you guys, if you're not able to come out, check us out. We're going to be live and we're going to be broadcasting from the event tonight. So look, I don't have anything else to add. We're definitely going to be coming back tonight. I just want to come in this morning and talk about this young man, Zion Thomas. It was a horrible situation. This young man lost his life. And like I said, again, I'm going to try to get in contact with the young ladies who reached out to me so we can get a little bit more about this story. So look, it's another one. It's your boy, Dame D, and I am out. Peace.